against Bitcoin.
It's going up forevermore.
You're against Bitcoin, you're against freedom.
Yo, welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live. We're your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution, breaking news, culture, dramatic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. I hope everyone had an amazing effing weekend. I did. I got to chill. You know, everyone on the weekends like, man, like what'd you do? What, like, you know, what, did you do anything crazy or whatever? No, man, I stayed home and I chilled and I relaxed. Because the week, you know, it's the Bitcoin roller coaster, making Bitcoin media. You know, it's a grind. I'm not going to lie. It's very purposeful. And I'm very, very grateful and privileged. Opti and I are, and the rest of the Simply Bitcoin crew. But it is quite a bit of a grind. So on weekends, I get to chill. Anyways, enough of that. Breaking news, Saylor buys even more Bitcoin. The man, or MicroStrategy better said, now owns almost 1% of all Bitcoin. Sky, talk about conviction. This is conviction. Saylor is proving to the world, and this is something that I've been saying, guys. In the next 2 or 3 years, it is going to be undeniable. It's going to be an undeniable fact that Nayib Bukele's Bitcoin strategy and Michael Saylor's strategy on the public company level is going to be an alternative than holding fiat currencies on their balance sheets, especially with the FASB rule changes, especially with the Bitcoin ETF around the corner. They're trying to do whatever it takes. And I believe it's politically motivated. I'm not the only Bitcoiner that has said this, by the way, that they're trying to slow this down, but it's going to be undeniable. And they're going to have a very hard time debunking this, that Bitcoin itself is just a better money. It's just better money. And governments are going to have a hard time disputing that. And the reason they're going to have a hard time disputing that, number one, is because they're always going to want to debase their currency. They can't afford the endless wars. They can't afford sending billions of dollars to Ukraine if they didn't have the money printer. So they're going to have a really hard time explaining that away. And number two, censorship, of course. Right? And the control on money itself, right? A lot of the reasons that the BRIC nations have sought alternatives to the US dollar, not only because the US government is printing a ridiculous amount of money, but also because they've politicized the money. They've weaponized the money against their political opponents. And fine, you can make the argument. I'm not gonna make those judgments. The government of North Korea are bad, okay, and the government of Russia is bad. The government of Cuba is bad. I'm not gonna get into those arguments, right? But let's talk about the vast majority of people that live in those countries that have nothing to do with the government. They're just like you and me. They're just trying to get by. They get caught in those sanctions. They have nothing to do with it. And the system that they want you to live in is if you live in if you happen to be born in a certain country, you happen to have certain political beliefs, you are not entitled to open a bank account. You are a danger, you're a risk. Well, Bitcoin is for you. Bitcoin is your money. It works. So they're going to have a hard time. And this is why we call it the separation of money and state. This is why we bring up the book, The Sovereign Individual, so much, because it absolutely hit the nail on the head. What we're living through right now, but it's not only money, it's also the disintermediation of information, which is happening at the same time. You're seeing it with the Russell Brand stuff. You're seeing it with the Tucker stuff. Independent content creators are now getting more views and more traction than the legacy corporate media, of which they cannot control. And that freaks them out too. So after we got over this hill, after we endure this bumpy transitionary period, and if we win the race to avoid the war, I agree with Corey Clipston from Swan. I think that there's a bright orange future ahead of us, and I've never been so pumped about it. But I got to say one last thing before I bring up my legendary co-host, Michael Saylor. Please leave some Bitcoin for the rest of us. Anyways, Opti, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. I also unplugged this weekend. It felt good. I was literally joking with everyone in the spaces. I literally lived the meme. Did you guys catch the game this weekend? I unplugged completely.
What game did you catch?
I caught all the games. I didn't do anything yesterday. I literally did not a thing yesterday but watch football. Throw tomatoes all you want, but it's a great weekend. It's good to be a Bitcoiner. And then also, guys, man, Saylor, leave some Bitcoin for the rest of us. Sheesh. It's almost like he's taking it all. It's almost like he's trying to buy all the Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, he definitely is, bro. He owns 1%. He almost owns 1% of every Bitcoin. We're at that point. We're at that point in the movie, dude.
Well, I think this is the PSA where we tell everyone to stop selling your Bitcoin to Michael Saylor and hodl onto them coins. We're the darkest. Actually, I saw a good tweet before we go on, Nico. I saw a good tweet this weekend, and it was something on the lines of like, dang, I wish I could remember, but it was something like Willy Woo is bearish. Somewhat, there was another part, and then it's like, and Bitcoin maxis are watching D3 football. Like, if you can't tell that this is the deepest parts of a bear market, like, are you even watching? There was a great tweet. I wish I could say it off the top of my head, but as you can tell, we're in the deep parts of the bear market. I hope you guys are stacking. I hope you guys are getting your cash flows up and just, getting your body right, mind right. This is the time to get your UTXOs in order, to make sure that everything is copacetic as we move into a crazy bull run. Anyways, Nico, we were going to have a guest today, but I'm kind of glad that they didn't show up because I wrote an article for once, guys. And I'm actually really hyped on this one. So I'm going to read it for you. I'm going to do my best Guy Swan impersonation today. And I think you guys are going to really like this one. So I don't know. It's got a lot of soul. It's got some spirit in it. It gets me hyped up. And maybe I'll give you context for it. I'll just read it and see what Nico thinks. I don't even think Nico's seen this yet. So I'm excited to get his response, his reaction to it. We're going to do a reaction video on today's Simply Bitcoin. Anyways, Nico, let's get into the show. Are we going to get a Nico Jones take today? Are we going to get a wild Nico Jones?
I think so. We got something spicy for the numbers, bro. Let's jump into it.
Okay, I bet.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Is your Bitcoin in cold storage really secure? Is your seed phrase really secure? Stamp Seed's do-it-yourself kit has everything you need to hammer your seed words into commercial grade titanium plates instead of just writing them on paper. Don't store your generational wealth on paper. Paper is prone to water damage, fire damage. You want to put your generational wealth on one of the strongest metals on planet Earth, titanium. Your words are actually stamped into this metal plate with this hammer and these letter stamps. And once your words are in, they aren't going anywhere. No risk of the plate breaking apart and pieces falling everywhere. Titanium stamped seeds will survive nearly triple the heat produced by a house fire. They're also crush-proof, waterproof, non-corrosive, and time-proof. All things that paper is not, allowing you to hodl your Bitcoin with peace of mind for the long haul. Stamp your seed on Stamp Seed. All right, everybody, I literally made it super freaking easy. Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to explain to your grandchildren why you lost your generational wealth because you stored your seed on paper. Store it on titanium. Scan the QR code on your screen. Use promo code SIMPLY. Get 15% off anything on the Stamp Seed website. Anyways, at the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is 26,340 sats per dollar, 3,797. Block height, 809,303. Blocks to halving, 30,697. Halving estimate, April 21st, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity, 4,673 Bitcoin. Capacity value, 123 million US dollars. Realized monetary inflation, 1.75%. The market capitalization of Bitcoin, $513 billion with a B. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 3.99%. All right, everybody. So Opti said Nico Jones rant, potential Nico Jones rant. What is this potential Nico Jones rant gonna be about? Well, we've talked about it comes from like the political front, this saying, but I'm going to apply it to central bankers. I'm going to apply it to politicians. Right. And there is something in the political rhetoric recently, and it's called the iron law of something projection. right? So we're going to take away the political rhetoric because we believe on Simply Bitcoin. It's not left versus right, right? It's the party of orange versus the party of green, party of central bank digital currencies, nihilism, poverty, slavery versus the party of freedom, Bitcoin, prosperity, opportunity, optimism, right? So that's really what it's about. But I'm going to take that rhetoric because it is very, very powerful rhetoric. And I'm going to say the iron law of central bank politicians' projection never fails. It never freaking fails. Let me introduce you to Senator Menendez of New Jersey. And let's take a look at what he has to say about Nayib Bukele of El Salvador.
We have an increasing challenging situation in El Salvador, one that threatens both the future of democracy in the country and bilateral relations with the United States. Over the last 2 years, President Bukele has presided over a number of alarming setbacks for democratic governance, undermining judicial independence, intimidating opposition lawmakers by using security forces to occupy the legislature, negotiating political pacts with gangs, regularly attacking journalists and media outlets. And in addition to these actions, Bukele has also repeatedly used his network of Twitter trolls to attack and threaten not only government critics within El Salvador, but also United States officials. We have an increasing challenging situation in El Salvador, one.
So just internalize everything that this guy said, right? You know, Senator Menendez, he sounded so legitimate. It's like, oh, this guy, he's just like, wow, Nayib Bukele is dangerous.
Dude, rolled his R's and everything.
Fast forward. I know it tried to make it seem like I am, I know what I'm talking about. I'm Latino. I know what I'm doing. You could take me seriously. Right. And he said, said a couple things. He said he's been attacking journalists. He's intimidating the opposition. He's a danger to the democracy. We'll get to all that. Don't worry. But first, let's talk about U.S. Senator Robert Menendez. U.S. Senator Robert Menendez, his wife, and 3 New Jersey businessmen charged with bribery offenses. And Nayib Bukele rightly pointed out, this guy actually called for an investigation against us. He ended up being charged. So the politician that said Nayib Bukele is a criminal, apparently he's been accused of being a criminal himself. And he said a couple of other things that I think go down to the iron law of central bank politician projection. Moving on to the actual CNN clip, because I think it's absolutely hilarious. I think it's it's cosmic justice, so to speak.
New Jersey Democratic Senator Bob Menendez, who is the chair of the
House Foreign Relations
Senate Foreign Relations Committee, he's being charged with corruption-related charges for the second time in 10 years. He was charged and indicted before, and there was a hung jury, and now he's being charged again for something completely different. Let's get right to Kara Scannell for the details on this. Kara, what are you learning?
Yeah, Don, so the U.S. Attorney's Office here in Lower Manhattan has announced that they have brought bribery charges against Senator Menendez and his wife. Now, according to the prosecutor's office, that they allege that Menendez's wife had received hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes that they had then used to help 3 New Jersey businessmen and the government of Egypt. This investigation has been going on for several years, and sources have told CNN that they have sent out rings of subpoenas to people seeking information about some of these businessmen and these relationships. Now, one of the businessmen is someone who has known Menendez's wife for a long time. He is someone that had obtained the exclusive right to export and certify halal meat to Egypt. That has been a focus of this investigation. And another one of the businessmen is a New Jersey developer, and prosecutors were asking questions about him, his communications with the senator and his wife. So as you said, though, this is the second time in 10 years that Senator Menendez has been charged with bribery and corruption.
New Jersey.
Wait, but hold on. I thought he was talking about like how Nayib Bukele was working with the gangs and all this stuff. Like, what is going on, right? It's very interesting. Anyways, so he also mentioned, let's break down all the things. Let's break down all the projection that Senator Menendez was passing on to President Nayib Bukele. First, he said President Nayib Bukele is a danger to democracy. Let's check out President Nayib Bukele's approval polls. 90%, 85%, 92%, 96%, 91%, 89%, 96%, 86%, 94%, 87%, 84%, 85%, 84%, 91%, 89%, 80%, 82%, 83%. You guys get the point. Isn't that democracy? You vote in a guy, he does his job, people like him, and he has a high approval rating. Isn't that the whole point of democracy? Now let's compare that in the United States. 52% of Americans disapprove of the president. No, but he said something very interesting, which he says intimidating political opponents. Well, again, guys, you guys know that we don't pick a side, left or right. But the reality is that the leading political opponent of the current administration, Donald Trump, was just indicted by the current government that's in power. Isn't that exactly what they said Nayib Bukele was doing? Just a mere observation. And the last thing, right, which I find really interesting, the whole idea of attacking journalists. So let's talk about that, right? We saw a letter from the UK Parliament last week literally saying that Russell Brand should be demonetized because of accusations that weren't proven true. I mean, that haven't been proven or haven't not been proven. So the iron law of politicians, central bankers never fails. Like, it literally never fails. They project onto us what they know they're guilty of themselves. And this always brings me back to this passage from Nayib Bukele, from an article he wrote from our friends over at Bitcoin Magazine, called Stop Drinking the Elite's Kool-Aid, in which he wrote, the most vocal detractors, the ones who are afraid and pressuring us to reverse our decision, are the world's most powerful elites and the people who work for or benefit them. They used to own everything, in a way they still do. The media, the banks, the NGOs, the international organizations, and almost all the governments and corporations in the world. And with that, of course, they also own the armies, the loans, the money supply, the credit ratings, the narrative, the propaganda, the factories, the food supply. They control international trade and international law. But their most powerful weapon is their control on truth. And they're willing to fight, lie, smear, destroy, censor, confiscate, print, and do whatever it takes to maintain and increase their control over the truth and everything and everyone. Well, at least there was a little bit of cosmic justice served today. Man, it's so funny. This has been happening for the last like 2 or 3 years. You know, what has been the saying, right? It's like all it takes for something to be true in a conspiracy theory is 6 months, right? And the person at the head of the Foreign Relations Committee, the person that was accusing and asking to investigate Nayib Bukele because he's a danger to democracy, because he's investigating his political opponents, ends up being, corrupt himself. This is crazy. And this happens with OPTI'S ex-girlfriend, Christine Lagarde. This happens with like all the central bankers. It's like the thing they accuse Bitcoin of doing. My favorite is when they call Bitcoin a non-public money. They call it a private money. Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys, very simple question. You can download the Bitcoin software. You can download the entire ledger. You can run it yourself, right? If you want to make more Bitcoin, you can get yourself a miner. You can make more Bitcoin, right? You just got to invest in the infrastructure. You got to pay the power costs. Open ledger. You can see every transaction ever going everywhere, right? Everyone can make Bitcoin. Now let's talk about the public money that they refer to. They talk about, right? Are you allowed to make dollars without going to jail? Can you audit the Fed? Could you audit the money supply? Or do you have to trust their data? Can anyone download a Bitcoin wallet anywhere around the world, no matter where they are? Could you do the same with dollars? So what is private and what is public? And again, it all comes down to the iron law of politicians' central banker projection onto Bitcoin, because they know they're guilty of the things they're accusing Bitcoin of. Anyways, dude. I saw this and I started laughing. And shout out to Chris Alamo, because he was sharing with me a lot of these things over the weekend. But yeah, dude, I think it's absolutely hysterical. Like, this is hilarious, dude. This is hilarious. But I don't even. And here's the thing: like, if you guys really want to see what's up, let's see if this guy actually goes to jail. Let's see if this guy actually goes to jail. Let's see, because he didn't go to jail the first time he was charged. So I don't know, man. That's all I got. And he hasn't resigned, by the way, either. right? You know, so it's just absolutely hilarious. The people that are accusing Nayib Bukele of being this fraud, of being this tyrant, of being this, you know, all these things, right? If you actually look at the data, it says the exact opposite, and they are the ones they are the ones that just are supposedly committing criminal activity themselves. Oh, that I could say supposedly about Senator Mendez because he hasn't been proven guilty yet, right? Innocent until proven. But I could say that about Christine Lagarde without a doubt. She is literally a convicted felon. I don't know felon. I don't know what it is in Europe, but she is a convicted criminal. The head of the European Central Bank is a convicted criminal. Don't take my word for it. Go on Google and search Christine Lagarde criminal, and it will literally show you that she's an actual convicted criminal. So forgive me when she calls us criminals, and forgive me when she has all this shit to say about Bitcoin, which happens to be something that she can't control. So yeah, man, it's just the iron law of politician central banker projection. I'm sticking to it. There's too many patterns, Opti. There's been too many fucking examples time and time and time again of the monetary demons accusing us of the things they do themselves. Anyways, what's your take, brother?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, just love that Bukele's article is putting Menendez's words back in his own face. And I really do think that article by Nayib Bukele, Don't Drink the Elite's Kool-Aid, is going to go down in history. Like, that's such a pivotal article. We've been covering it probably almost every other day on this channel, probably every other week, realistically. And I, like, as someone that sees this happening, you know, as an average everyday person, it does seem like that article has more weight than when we talk about it because we're just conspiratorial. But when it comes from a president of a nation, it does hit a little harder. Anyways, just the amount of projection that comes out of politicians is absolutely incredible. And it just reminds me of the meme that we say all the time. Do as I say, not as I do. And they just constantly project their bad behaviors onto us. Someone said in the chat, like, stop projecting your fiat behaviors on us. And it really just goes to show that either the fiat incentives are completely broken or they are working as designed. Like, you can choose your lane. Personally, I know what my opinions are. And someone said, and kind of to your point, Nico, you know, what will come of this? Probably nothing. And in that sense, this is probably a non-story because nothing will come out of this. But the whole point of this show, besides giving you guys that Bitcoin signal and besides giving you guys actionable advice, is to constantly expose the hypocrisy that comes out from politicians and the corporate media machine. And so what we have to do is try to plant the seeds into the normie's brain out there that, look, this stuff is happening, whether you think we're conspiratorial or not. It's only going to take a few, couple of weeks now for the delay between what's truth and what's, a fake news story to be exposed for what it is. And if we just constantly show the hypocrisy going on, the bad incentives, and then not only complain and whine about it, but point people towards the only solution that really matters, and is taking away the money. And, it's not lost on me that they say that Bitcoiners are financial criminals or whatever stupid thing they try to call us, when the real criminals use fiat and gold, apparently. So, like, which one is it, guys? Which one is it, corporate press? Do criminals use Bitcoin, or do criminals mainly launder money through the fiat monetary system? It's almost like criminals are using fiat more. It's almost like they enjoy paper money more than a hard cap ledger that is transparent. But hey, what do I know? Maybe we're the ones drinking the Kool-Aid, but no, I'm being sarcastic and rhetorical here for people that are too far down the rabbit hole. But guys, this is all we have to do. We're constantly exposing the hypocrisies from these politicians, and we're keeping them accountable. But the way that you keep them most accountable is by taking your labor, your money outside of the system and holding Bitcoin in private keys that you control. It's all about the money. It will always be about the money. And as long as they have the money printer, they will continue to do stupid stuff like this. And if you do not approve of this, well, there is something you can do today. Take action. Save in Bitcoin. Take Bitcoin into self-custody. Because the more fiat money you have, the more you are literally consenting to this kind of behavior.
Yeah, 100%. I think you hit the nail on the head. Coming in strong on Monday, bro. These monetary demons, bro. We're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win. All right, everybody. Before we get on to the news, I want to give a very special shout out to our sponsor, Bitcoin 2024. It's going to be the largest Bitcoin conference on planet Earth. It's going to be hosted in Nashville, Tennessee, July 25th through the 27th, 2024. You want to get your tickets quickly because the prices will go up. For a GA ticket, you can get it for $349. For an industry pass, you can get it for $849. For a whale pass, you can get it for $4,749. And I got some even better news. You can use the promo code SIMPLY to get 10% off these already discounted tickets. You want to get the tickets quickly before the prices go up. Bitcoin 2024, Nashville, Tennessee, July 25th through the 27th. Opti and I are going to be there. It's a party. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a great old time. All right, everybody, let's move on to the news.
The Daily News.
I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Foundation Devices. It's self-custody done right. They built a premium grade hardware wallet called Passport right here in the US. It's fully open source and verifiable. It's the most intuitive Bitcoin wallet designed with a UX reminiscent of a simple feature phone. So you will know how to navigate it and use it the moment you pick it up. Get your Bitcoin off exchanges and into your own hands in just a few minutes. Experience the peace of mind that comes with taking ownership of your own keys. After a massive sellout during Bitcoin Miami 2023, the Passport is back in stock at foundationdevices.com. Bitcoin only, open source verifiable, completely air gap security model, gorgeous design craft, premium grade materials. If you're thinking about getting your Bitcoin off exchanges, this is the one for you. Check out the Passport link in the show notes below to learn more. All right, guys, you guys know the deal. I made it easy for you guys too. You could scan the QR code on your screen right now, and it'll take you directly to the Foundation Devices website where you can get yourself a Passport hardware wallet. Take your Bitcoin into self-custody. Look how beautiful this thing is. Not only is it beautiful, but it's also open source. Not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Take your Bitcoin into self-custody. Anyways, guys, this is the big news for today. And I'll be honest with you guys, like, fuck, come on, dude. Saylor, I know we call you the Chad. I know you got laser beams coming out of your eyeballs. I know that you can just keep talking about Bitcoin forever and but you should please leave some for the rest of us, bro. This is a lot of corn. There's a lot of corn. You're stacking fields of corn while us, normal Bitcoiners are stacking kernels, right? You're stacking fields of fucking corn at the same time. This is a tweet that just came out. I think it was this morning. MicroStrategy has acquired an additional 5,445 Bitcoin for $147 million US at an average price of $27,000 per Bitcoin. As of 9/24/23, MicroStrategy holds 158,245 Bitcoin acquired for $4.68 billion at an average price of $29,582 per Bitcoin. That's a lot of corn, dude. That's a lot of corn. That's what I got to say about that. Now, a lot of people are going to say, this is crazy. This strategy is nuts. This guy's a total degen. He's just going all in. But here's the thing, guys. The proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding. This is what I said in the very beginning of the show about Nayib Bukele and Michael Saylor. Next halving, it is going to be undeniable. There's no amount of legacy corporate media, spin and FUD, politician narrative, central bank narrative that is going to be able to rebuke the fact that holding Bitcoin versus fiat money is just better. Not only on a monetary and economic level, but I'm going to say on a spiritual level too, on a mental health level also. I mean, that one's debatable because they don't call it the Bitcoin roller coaster for no reason. But over a long period of time, the mental one applies as well. So this is a tweet that Michael Saylor came out with, and he said 3 years ago today, MicroStrategy announced that it had adopted Bitcoin as its primary treasury reserve asset, purchasing 21,454 Bitcoin for $250 million, or 11,653 per Bitcoin. And here it kind of shows, it does the comparables, right? in terms of what has happened since then. So gold has been down 5%. Bonds have been down 18%. Silver's been down 19%. NASDAQ has been up 25%. S&P 500 has been down 33%. I mean, up 33%. I apologize. Bitcoin's been up 145%. And MicroStrategy has been up 206%. So at this point, you cannot deny that the Bitcoin strategy is working. Now, here's the thing. This is effing exponential, bro. So over time, this is going to prove the more he sticks to this strategy, and obviously Saylor's sticking to his guns or he wouldn't have just bought $150 million worth of Bitcoin more, the more it's going to show that if you price your life in Bitcoin, it gets cheaper. It's just a better money. There's this amazing website that I've referenced many, many times on Simply Bitcoin. It's called Price in Bitcoin 21. I'm trying to load it. Seems like it's having some trouble on the server side, but it shows that if you price your life in Bitcoin, things get cheaper over time. And that's just a reality. Anyways, here's Luke Broyles, and he does some amazing comparables and all that stuff. He's done some amazing threads about the potential price of Bitcoin over a long period of time. And he had an interesting thought experiment, which I thought was really, really interesting. He said, Saylor has 3.1 million followers. Let's say a mere 5 companies copy MicroStrategy to each buy 150K Bitcoin. Let's say Saylor has a mere 10 multi-billionaire friends that also buy 1 billion in Bitcoin. Let's say Saylor inspires a mere 100,000 millionaires to buy an average of 3 Bitcoin via his numerous interviews. Let's say the other 3 million of Saylor's followers buy a mere 0.13 Bitcoin each. No more Bitcoin. Saylor's influence alone could wipe paper Bitcoin to zero over time, yet it doesn't because the vast majority hear but do not yet listen. Now do you understand how early we are and how many people are ignoring Bitcoin scarcity? Based on 1.8 million Bitcoin on exchanges and 25,000 per Bitcoin. Because that's another thing to keep in mind, guys. Like, yes, the overall amount might be 21 million Bitcoin, right? The overall amount, 21 million Bitcoin. However, the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges, it's 1.83 million Bitcoin. It's not that much Bitcoin. If everyone wanted to buy Bitcoin at the same time, there physically would not be enough Bitcoin to go around. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand because of Bitcoin's absolute scarcity. Now, there's another thing that I wanted to bring up, which is this general trend that I see with BlackRock getting involved, Michael Saylor buying all this Bitcoin, but putting on a corporate treasury. You know, you could say that he's not taking self-custody himself. And I think Vijay Boyapati pointed something out, and I think Preston Pish said it as well. And it kind of reminds me of this phrase coming from Max Kaiser, where you don't change Bitcoin, Bitcoin changes you. And also talking about the incentive model. Because here's the thing about the fiat incentive model. The fiat incentive model incentivizes you to cheat. And in fact, there's an elite few that win, everyone else loses. Now, in the Bitcoin incentive model, it incentivizes you to play by the rules because that benefits you more economically to play by the rules. Do you think I just run a node for shits and giggles? No, I obviously don't want to trust anybody else's, so I have my own Start9 node and I run it, so I have my own copy of the Bitcoin blockchain. Do you think miners just mine Bitcoin out of the goodness of their heart? No, they're greedy mother effers and they want to make a profit. So what you're seeing is an aligned incentive structure model. And when a lot of these banks and a lot of these people have this perception that BlackRock is just twirling their mustache and scheming and saying, haha, we're going to take over the world. No, I don't think it's that at all. I think that you have a broken architecture. You have a broken incentive structure that incentivizes immoral behavior. It incentivizes bad behavior. Max Kaiser says it best. You don't change Bitcoin, Bitcoin changes you. So here's what Vijay Boyapati says. He says, there is a legitimate concern among many Bitcoiners that the increasing ownership of Bitcoin by the traditional financial system will transform Bitcoin for the worse. I think it's just as likely this adoption will unintentionally transform the financial system for the better. And I mean, look, I know what Bitcoin's done for my life. I know what Bitcoin's done for my company. I know what Bitcoin's done for the people around me. I know what Bitcoin has done for my friends, my family. Anyways, here's kind of like an update on the Bitcoin treasuries. This is made by CoinKite, this website. So check this out, right? It says MicroStrategy currently holding 158,000 Bitcoin. Then after that, Marathon holding 11,000 Bitcoin. Then Tesla holding 9,000 Bitcoin. Then Coinbase holding 9,000. Hut 8 Mining holding 8,000. Block holding 8,000. Riot Blockchain holding 6,000. Galaxy Digital Holdings holding 4,000, and so on and so on. I mean, I think MicroStrategy is going to be one of the most valuable companies in the world as time progresses, man. But anyways, dude, what Saylor's just got to leave some for the rest of us. That's my final conclusion on all this, dude. He's buying all the effing corn. Anyways, Opti, what's your take on all this, brother?
Well, hey, as much as I want to agree with your last point, hey, if he's got the ability to buy as much Bitcoin as humanly possible, who am I to stop him? Shouts out to him, dude. That's absolutely crazy. And that VJ tweet it reminded me of something I've said on the show before. And at first I was kind of trolling, and now it really does seem like this is a non-zero possibility of it happening. But remember when I said in the past, when the BlackRock ETF news came out, it's like everyone got concerned about BlackRock bringing down Bitcoin. And now it's almost looking like it might be Bitcoin that brings down BlackRock. We can only hope, right? Like, are we in the best timeline ever, or are we in the worst one? Who knows? I guess we will only see. But yeah, on the Saylor news, man, like I wish I had the ability, like Michael Saylor, to stack as much Bitcoin as possible, using the fiat system to your advantage to stack as much Bitcoin as humanly possible is absolutely incredible. And kind of to Luke's point, it's really going to get crazy when other people start following Saylor's strategy and that catches on and other billionaires and millionaires are stacking this hard. Like it's really going to get frothy out there. But there was one point there, like he said something about like 100,000 millionaires. Is there even that many millionaires in the world? I thought it was less, but maybe I'm misremembering. Anyways, the point remains the same. As long as there's an army of people out there that are taking Bitcoin into self-custody and high net worth individuals that are also taking Bitcoin into self-custody, there's no way they can stop this. And yes, of course, paper Bitcoin is a concern, but this is why we constantly tell you guys to take that Bitcoin into self-custody, and this is how you can fight against it. We saw what happened this last bear market with FTX and all the other shitcoin debacles that blew up because of paper Bitcoin. And hey, if you guys want to rehypothecate out there, and of course, I'm talking to the institutions and the exchanges, well, we will continue to double down and tell people to take that Bitcoin into self-custody, call their bluff. Do not trust that middleman. Make sure you are holding your Bitcoin personally because, look, just be honest with yourself. I know some people say that they have a high moral fortitude, but shit, if you were given the opportunity of holding people's money and they never came back to you for it, I am almost positive you would start to chip off a little bit. And so it's just the fiat incentives. They're working out exactly as designed. I know I asked the rhetorical question earlier, whether the fiat system is broken or whether it's working as designed. And I used to kind of be naively on the side of it is broken, but the more you understand how the fiat system works, the more you know that it is working exactly as planned. And the plan is to make sure that you are not in the club, guys. So this is why we tell you guys, you need to hold some Bitcoin. You need to have money outside of the fiat system because it is working in a way to take from the little men and give to the rich guys that already have control of the system. It's like the reverse Robin Hood monetary system where the rich get more and the poor just constantly get stolen from. I don't know about you, but this is not a system I want to be a part of. Hence why I take all my work, all my labor, all my savings, and I take it into Bitcoin. And I encourage everyone else to do the same, because if you think this is unfair and you want to live in a fairer world, well, there is only one solution, and that is holding Bitcoin. You need to be holding as much Bitcoin as possible. Well, obviously pay your rent, pay your bills, survive. But what do we say? Stay humble, stack sat, stay solvent.
Exactly. The stay solvent aspect is absolutely key. Anyways, everybody, I also want to give a shout out to our other sponsor, Kaboom Rex. The news is brought to you by Kaboom Rex. Looking for the best place to buy Bitcoin miners? Your answer, Kaboom Rex. Get top deals, the best prices, repair and hosting services all in one place. Get started through our affiliate link and launch your mining journey with Kaboom Racks today. Check out our racks. Check out Kaboom Racks. And you can scan the QR code on your screen right now. It'll take you directly to the Telegram marketplace where you'll find the best deals on the latest Bitcoin mining ASICs. All right, everybody, let's move on to the culture. We have a lot to talk about.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
All right, guys. I'm very excited to read this for you guys. It's literally hot off the press. We just dropped this on our Substack. I don't know if I would say divinely inspired this weekend, but as you can see, and hopefully you guys have seen it, and I told you guys last week, I was rewatching Atlas Shrugged, guys, and I kind of repurposed and updated the speech there in my own words into what I've been thinking lately. And I wrote this piece. It's called Bitcoin's Declaration of Choice. And as you can see here, I have that picture of John Galt in the TV speech from the movie adaptation of Atlas Shrugged. And I don't know, I just felt this one. I even got my boy Zach to edit it, Mike Hobart as well, to take a look over it. And I don't know, just tell me what you think in the chat. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. Hopefully you guys go to Substack or simplybitcoin.substack and spread it, because I don't know, man, I really do feel like more people need to make a choice right now. We say it all the time. It's Bitcoin or slavery, and it's not hyperbole. So here we are. Bitcoin's Declaration of Choice. This is about freedom of choice, a world of voluntary choice where producers produce and consumers have full choice, not just the illusion of choice, where the best are the best, where results speak for themselves, where progress isn't stunted because of the fear of competition, a society where heroes are lauded and not derided, a world of action, not of mere words, a world that improves not just on paper, not just by sleight of hand, not just by the fibbing of figures, a life of truth and not feelings, a world of results and not favors, a world where greatness is earned, where builders build and opinions are just that, opinions, where gladiators, warriors, and risk takers push the needle forward, where the crazy ones put their necks on the blocks, win or lose, and the results are theirs, a world where our children can better themselves, where instead of hiding their gifts, they are encouraged to pursue them, a world based on passion and hard work, a world built from the soil with blood, sweat, and tears, and not one decreed from on high, not the mythical world of trickling down prosperity, but a world where innovators innovate and humanity improves because of their self-interested gifts, a world based on principles and voluntary collaboration, a world where the psychopaths that use violence will dwindle because of their asocial behaviors, where honor means something, where being a good person is profitable, where profits are not ridiculed but embraced, where the pie expands instead of cutting throats for smaller and smaller slivers of the pie, where individuals are the protected minority, where color or creed means nothing but work means all. Work, a scary word, no doubt, but a humbled word, a word that will no longer be hidden, no longer be bad talk, no longer be hated. Prove your work to your neighbor and let the fruits of that labor speak for itself. I know this sounds fantastical, ideological, but you've worked your whole life and have given Caesar his unfair share. Why? Why is this the status quo? Why must you work for a money that steals from you? Why must you give the unproductive masters their unfair share? What work have they done? And don't confuse the entrepreneur with the unproductive class. The world turns because of visionaries. Everything you touch was created by a visionary and diluted by the parasitic masters that feel entitled to your labor. What's this sound like? Need I speak it out for you? Are you a free man or do you like your slavery? Have your chains become comfortable? Has your servitude become safe? Freedom is not free and freedom is not safe. Has your spirit been so thoroughly destroyed that my words fall on deaf ears? Has your soul already been taken from you? Does your family name mean nothing to you? Does your legacy mean nothing? Have heroes died and only live in the stories of ancient history? Has your faith in humanity been killed by a few psychopathic bad apples? Have the worms eaten your brains? Does it hurt more to fight than to grit your teeth and bear the unbearable? If so, you're already dead inside, and what more do you have to lose? Are you the person you thought you'd be when you still had a gleam in your eye and hope in your soul as a child? Hope. Man cannot live off bread alone. Hope. Hope that things are changeable, that the yoke is breakable, that prosperity is a possibility for you and your children. If any semblance of a free man still lives in you, choose to be free. Choose to fight like hell because you're in hell already, and how much worse could it get? Much worse unless you choose freedom, choose hope, choose voluntary actions above all. If there is no choice but to play the game, then turn the game over and meet me on the battlefield of freedom, the true last frontier. It's the money. It's always been the money. And the longer you play their game, the tighter the rope gets. Break free of the matrix, take back your work, take back your labor, take back your life, take back your money, and choose to no longer be a worm. All of life depends on you to become free, or else be ground into food to feed the great Leviathan. Enough is enough. Stand to your feet. Wipe off your shoes, straighten your collar, and join the ranks of men with dignity. The abuse is a choice. Choose. Choose.
Fucking shit, bro.
I got divinely inspired, and guys, I really do believe this is what's going on. Stop taking the abuse. Stand on your feet. Become a free man today and take your Bitcoin, take your wealth, and take it into self-custody. Opt out of this abuse. Opt out of the fiat system. This is the way, guys. This is the signal, and this is why you need to wake as many people up as possible.
No, I wish I had the gladiator music. You know, like that would have been so fucking fitting for that. But someone asked in the chat, by the way, a link to the article. I just put it in the video description. You could find it there.
I just dropped
Subscribe to the Simply Bitcoin Substack. Also, before I chime in, we're almost at 1,000 people in the Simply Bitcoin Telegram group. So join it. Go to t.me/simplybitcointv. It's absolutely free. You can drop articles in there, memes, whatever you want, whatever your heart desires. Anyways. Opti, that was fucking phenomenal, dude. You got to do more writing. That was great. Definitely divine inspiration, 100%. That was, man, that got my blood boiling. And yeah, it's always been about the money. Like and you say that and it has like a negative like feeling to it, but think about it, like whether you like it or not, like every transaction. Right, like half of everything, like the base layer of society runs on money, whether we like it or not. I would make the argument that it's innate to human nature. That's why you've had civilizations from like the beginning of time. They've used some semblance of money for accounting and all that. And if that instrumental base of society, that instrumental tool of society is corrupted, it's broken, that has downward effects. And everything, in my belief, is, and I think Opti, you pointed this out beautifully, is related to that. Everything. So like the moral decay of society, the lies that you're seeing recently, the reaction to the pandemic, the endless wars, right? The fact that people are poorer than their parents, even though like Jeff Booth has said it, things should have gotten cheaper, right? But the money is stealing from everyone and it's redistributing it to people that have not earned it, number one. And because they haven't earned it, they misallocate capital. Like there was a speech the other day, like Joe Biden was just talking, and again, it's please do not make this a partisan thing because it's not. Regardless of whatever political party is in power, they do the same thing, they print money. That being said, I saw Biden the other day talk about another tens of billions of dollars to Ukraine. And it's like, that wouldn't be possible under a sound money standard, because the only way that you'd be able to raise that money to send to Ukraine would be through direct taxation of the populace. And are you telling me that people would just sign up willy-nilly like, oh yeah, sure, like I'm gonna make less money this month so that I could send it to Ukraine? Like people would literally, there would be a revolt on the street the next day and people would be like, I'm not paying for this. But the way they get away with it is through the hidden tax of inflation. And that's why you guys have to arm yourself with the facts so that you can tell your family, you can tell the people around you, you can educate them on the fact that a lot of these issues are coming from broken, corrupted money. And that's where Marty Bent says the phrase, and I truly believe it: fix the money, fix the world. It's as simple as that, right? It's not going to fix everything, but I think it's going to give people a fighting chance. If they work hard, you know, if they bust their ass, they're going to have an opportunity to save. They're going to have an opportunity to transact with the global economy. And I think they didn't have that before. So anyways, this is going to be this is definitely going to be an upward battle. You know, I'm seeing a lot more stablecoin adoption. That's the reality in the third world. Sorry, in the developing world, in the global south. Then I'm seeing Bitcoin, and I think that a lot of people are seeing false financial sovereignty in those stable coins. They inherently can be co-opted, and I think they will be co-opted eventually. I think the only thing that cannot be co-opted, because it's true decentralization, because it's the only cryptocurrency that had a virgin birth, so to speak, meaning when Satoshi made Bitcoin, he didn't think Bitcoin was going to have any value. And also he disappeared, right? He took himself out of the equation, right? So anyways, that's my take on that. Opti, that was beautiful. That was inspirational. Guys, check out the Simply Bitcoin Substack. You could find the article there. Also, check out Simply Bitcoin's Telegram group, and we'll be dropping that stuff in there. Anyways, it's time to review some memes. Monday's episode, hot fire so far. Let's keep it going.
The Daily Meme Review.
All right, guys, you know the deal. This is the meme review where you guys give us memes, tag me on Twitter at simplybitcointv or my personal account at Optimus Fields, or drop them in our Telegram group, t.me/simplybitcointv. Tweet to the bullets, memes to the chili. As you can tell, we are in an information war. And before I go on, shouts out to Matthew J in the chat. Before the show, he was saying he wants to contribute to Bitcoin any way possible. And I think today's episode is a great example of contributing to Bitcoin. Just means making memes. It just means writing article. It just means having these conversations with your friends and family. Also, shouts out to Roman. He said he was orange pilling people at his kid's birthday party or friend's birthday party. Like, this is how you can contribute to Bitcoin. You don't necessarily need to be in Bitcoin, but hey, it is rewarding work working within Bitcoin. So there's a lot of ways that you can contribute your skills to Bitcoin. Figure out what you're good at and then get paid in Bitcoin, or even just talking about Bitcoin, guys. As you can tell, we are in an information war, and it's upon us as individuals. There's no PR, there's no marketing team. It is us as individuals, self-interestedly, if that is a word, it probably isn't, spreading Bitcoin and getting more people on the safety net, the safety boat that is Bitcoin, because the fiat system is rigged against the average person. And the only way to protect yourself is by literally protecting yourself using Bitcoin. Anyways, I'll get off my soapbox. Let's get to the memes. First meme is by The Accountant, aka at CDCM99 on Twitter. And we got a picture here of a Barbie doll with like crazy look, and it goes, when they say they know Bitcoin, but they invest in crypto. You forgot the P, bro. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, that's the look I say all the time. I think we're constantly, actually, let's do planned markets here, because unfortunately most are this way. Each time I hear someone say they love Bitcoin, I get excited, only to hear the next sentence out of their mouth about crypto, blockchain, and NFTs. Most are here to get rich quick and feel smart, but miss the corruption in parts of society. Guys, it's the money, stupid. It's always been about the money. And if you allow them to maintain the control of the money by partaking in the fiat system, they will continue to abuse you. I don't know about you, but I have chosen Bitcoin over slavery. All right, this next one. Before I give you guys the meme, I got to give you guys the context. I really like this meme because I don't know if I'm going to claim this, but I swear I'm the first one to use the Hungry Hippo meme here, the Hungry Hippo GIF. And Saylor's been literally eating all the Bitcoin, all the sats out there. Anyways, we got BTC Gandalf, and he goes, Bitcoin dips and Bitcoiners playing Hungry Hippo. Guys, you are playing Hungry Hippo for sats. Get as many sats as humanly possible under your control. This is the game. It's the game of accumulation. It's not about the fiat price. The only number that matters is the sats under your control. Play Hungry Hippo. And then I had Sophie did a video at Austin BitBlock Boom, and she asked me what my favorite Bitcoin meme was, and I said banana bread, kind of trolling. This morning, I realized that my favorite Bitcoin meme is literally the bell curve. Any bell curve meme in regards to Bitcoin is my favorite. I don't know why. I love the bell curve meme. Anyways, we got a Maxi's Club here, and she goes 530 bit curve. And we got little Opti over here. It's literally me. Oh my God. Little Opti here on the left side of the bell curve, and it goes stack, sats, and hold. And then we got Laser Eyes right side of the bell curve Bitcoiners. It goes stat, sats, and hodl. And then we got the shitcoiner midwit in the middle crying because they got rug pulled by a shitcoin or they're not holding Bitcoin and they're sitting on the sideline. This one, I think it was comfy in our Telegram group. And it goes, Dad, why do you work for 1 sat per week changing diapers at the old folks' home? And the dad goes, back in the day, people told me to buy Bitcoin, but I ignored them and said, what if the power went out? And then the son goes, put me up for adoption, please. Savage. Okay, this next one is by our boy at Psychedelic El Barto, and he goes, this is a classic Simpson memes here, and we got Bart here, and it goes $80 million fighter jet, and it's Bart with the blind glasses on and the blind stick thing, and then it goes hashtag stacking sats, and it is them looking at everything you are doing, the hypocrisy, just the hypocrisy. It's absolutely incredible. All right, this next one is by our boys over at the Having Party MF, and he goes, do we really need a Bitcoin ETF though? And we got the classic meme where the buff, short, bald guy is yelling at the pretty blonde girl, and he's explaining to Bitcoiners why Bitcoin needs an ETF, and Bitcoiners just like, bro, like, do we need it? I don't know, man. Pump our bags, I guess. This last one, shouts out to my boy Weinekiss behind the Bitcoin kindergarten. Twitter
and Simply Bitcoin.
Yeah, a little bit of nepotism in the meme review today. I don't know, but this is great. I even asked him, I'm like, did you make this? Look, you can see me. Because Juan goes, shout out to the artist who made this. And I thought it was him, and the artist with the Spider-Man meme. It wasn't him. And then shouts out to Carson. He's Eric Cason. He goes, gonna make this into a shirt to wear to parent teachers night. Anyways, we got a little heart here, and he's smiling. He goes, I bring a certain the government hates us and is trying to kill us vibe to social interactions that most people who are blindly following the narrative don't really like. Hashtag me too. All right, drop your meme review score on the other side of Nico, and we will cover your meme review score live. Okay.
Wait a second. Guys, check out the Simply Bitcoin merch. This is the Simply Bitcoin shirt. It has Simply Bitcoin on the back. Look at that. Check it out. And look at the attention to detail. It literally says Bitcoin or slavery in the stitching. Check it out while supplies last. This will sell out. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now. Take you directly to the Simply Bitcoin website. And we got the Simply Bitcoin hoodie. You can get yourself one. It's literally very, very comfy. It's stylish. It's the same brand that made this, Represent LTD. So get yourself some Simply Bitcoin merch. That's going to be my meme score today, Opti. Some Simply Bitcoin merch. A nice. Simply Bitcoin merch plug. That's my meme score.
Wait, guys, am I still green? Why do I look normal over here? I think I'm still green. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, my meme review score is, I'm going to give it the foundation device. It's so pretty.
Oh, okay. So you got to look, you got to peel off the thing.
No, I want to keep the screen nice.
But that just feels so good to peel that off, though.
I don't care. I scratch things too easily.
Okay, I get it.
I'm a Neanderthal like that, and I want to keep it nice and pretty for now.
I get it. Okay. All right, everybody, please drop your score in the live chat, and we will get to it. But first, a word from Yellow.
Greg is a potato.
Thank you, Yellow. All right, everybody. First score by Elaine. OPTI'S read goes viral like Richmond north of Richmond. Bitcoin's time is now. We got the next one by Keefy Boy. I give the memes the tears of joy and hope that rolled out of my eyes as Opti read the speech. Opti, we got to clip your speech, brother. UTXO. Morpheus, if you're listening, UTXO. I give the memes a big throbbing. I don't know what that is. It sounds inappropriate. I'm not going to risk it. McLovin, after the having, Saylor is going to bless all Simply Bitcoin subscribers with all notifications on with a whole Bitcoin. Yeah, right. All right. Next one. BTC is truth, farming more corn than before. Okay, that's a good score. Are we
Wait. Okay, I'm not green. All right. Thank you, John Pleb, for trolling me live.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to smash that like button. Consider subscribing if you feel like we provided you value. But the number one thing you could do to help push the peaceful Bitcoin revolution forward is share this content. In fact, share all Bitcoin content. Get the signal out there. Let's win the race to avoid the war. I'm your host, Nico. This is my legendary co-host, Opti. If you want to join Opti in the after party, make sure to find us on Twitter Spaces. We're going to be holding a Spaces down until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our friends over at Swan Bitcoin, best place to build your Bitcoin stack. Shout out to the best producer in the game, producer Jacob. Love you all. We'll see you tomorrow for a brand new episode of Simply Bitcoin Live.
No! All right, sorry guys. It was Monday. I'm kind of hyped. You know, I was getting some love in the chat. Appreciate it, guys. So I had to yell in your ear. All right, you already know the deal. We actually have time today. We hit the show under the hour mark today, which is kind of a new trend for the last couple of